What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Snowpiercer Season 3, Episode 1 breakdown and spoiler review. Now, we are picking up 6 months after the crushing end of last season, with one half of the engineers, Leighton, Bess, Josie, and all the people at the front of the train searching for the warm patches of Earth, as we know that the Earth is healing itself. I wish it could do that in real life. Now, we also have Wilford's train chasing them, as he did control the main lot of the train as it was split into two, unfortunately leaving most of the people and resistance on their own, seemingly led by Ruth, who has no idea that Melanie is, air quotes, dead. While there is hope that humanity can survive once more, the looming threat of Wilford will make for an interesting season-long mystery. Now, both parts of the trains are wildly different, with Wilford's train being incredibly cold and hostile, while Leighton's train is warm but overheating as the whole crew are there wearing vests. Interestingly, the POW Miss Audrey is under lock and key after a defection to Wilford last season, and she is still simping for that man. However, the key is searching for New Eden and not letting Melanie's sacrifice go to waste. However, apparently the actress is returning. I did not know this until I researched this episode. Well, there was no trailer that I saw. I didn't hear of a trailer, I didn't hear of a return date, and I only got the email from Netflix this morning, so it was a nice surprise that it's returning. I was searching for some samples to find a place to live before going back for the rest of humanity. Ben falls down into a building/cave as Leighton heads off to find them. It seems that heading out into the snow is now pretty routine. Meanwhile, Wilford's staff are looking into snuffing the last of the Leightonites, and they need to work out how to conserve energy on the train. And Kevin wants to start a cult, but Zara is really against that, of course, because it's disgusting. And she says about getting rid of the first class train as it's decommissioned, but Wilford is intent on keeping it, as he is adamant the train will return back to normal, and thus so will the hierarchy amongst all of these last people alive. We also see poor Avi, who we thought had died last season. He was mauled heavily. He's driving the train under threat of that gigantic dog. The Bonnie and Clyde murder couple are running the bar and brokering information for Kevin, and it's clear that the girl wants to keep in Wilford's good graces, and we're amazed that they've survived so long. I wonder if she will turn on him at one point. Considering that they did murder people, or at least she was a accessory to murder, it's going to be a curious one nonetheless. However, the Resistance are managing to broker hot baths for people who are helping them. Something that we saw Pike just before this, and it's something that won't fly as Wilford brings some justice down on the Watermaster, and a woman is caught bathing, which isn't going to be accepted, as water will no doubt be in very short supply. Kevin has come a long way since being abused and meek. Miss Audrey really did heal him, didn't she? Now, Pike and Ruth head through the train. They head through first class, and I found it funny that Ruth was like, couldn't Kevin put anything back, as the Resistance is actually having her shepherd to a new safe haven in light of their last one being found, or at least that they are under risk of being found. Luckily, Ben is found by Leighton, and they attempt to save him. However, Audrey manages to try and start a revolt while Leighton was out, and Alex and Bess attempt to fix the train, but Audrey takes control of it. Audrey is adamant to get back to Wilford, and does get in the head of Alex. Well, she knows which side her bread is buttered, and of course she is incredibly gaslit, as Bess is having to do her own thing and do her die hard in the vents and escape. They need to get back to pick up Leighton and Ben. However, Leighton has found something very odd down in the rundown building, as a generator engine is running, and they hear something, and or at least he is attacked. Now, this is a new character called Asha, who thinks that she's the last person alive and will be integral to the story moving forward. And, well, it's a very interesting one, as Leighton hears or sees some visions of this New Eden and the weird-looking tree we had in this brand new intro. This new character is saved and has been taken back to the Snowpiercer, which will provide some very interesting insight. As the Earth is heating up, I imagine we might find more people like this, and I wonder if Melanie could return, having stumbled across a similar place like this, or even followed through a hot spring area and found an oasis. The actress is returning after all. The Snowpiercer has its own overheating problem, and the contrast between the two are very, very stark, and it seems like Wilford has won this round on his train. The Resistance nose is bloodied, and the people who had the hot baths are made examples of, as Wilford is able to look into Zara's baby and see the ultrasound. I wonder what his plans are, and considering as awful as he is, I wonder if he will send kids into the engine like we had in the movie. I hope they don't, because that is incredibly harrowing. It's clear he will not relent in controlling his train, as he wants to control it with an iron fist, and he's intent on making this fight personal with Leighton's baby at stake, and it's amazing how far we have moved on from the first episode. I'm keen here to find out what the new character has to say and how they survived for so long. Of course, this will drip feed them into finding a place to stay, a place for humanity to survive as well. Now, it won't be plain sailing for Leighton on his command, as he has Miss Audrey wanting to take control of the train, not to mention he is with Josie continuing on that love triangle, so he needs to watch his back. Overall, I thought this was a strong opener, as we get the cool sci-fi stuff teased in Season 2, which didn't go that far. Of course, apparently Season 2 and this season is filmed around the schedule of Jennifer Connelly, which would explain why she didn't have so much time over there in Season 2. And I'm hoping we can deep dive more into this new Eden, this way of surviving. Now, like I said, I had no idea this was back, and it wasn't marketed anywhere for me, so it was refreshing just seeing this going in blind. I'm excited to see how Ruth will be leading the Resistance from a movie in HQ, and I'm really hoping that this can keep the exciting pace. I felt like Season 2 did go a bit slow at times, then fast, then slow. Hey, somewhat like this train. But overall, it was pretty decent nonetheless. I'm excited to see what these visions are. I'm wondering if it's going to go in some weird sci-fi see the future thing, but I'm not too sure about that one. But that is it for this video. Please do drop a like down below and subscribe with notifications on if you want more from us. If you are into Euphoria, you can check out the video I had up yesterday, and I will be back tomorrow for a Boba Fett video. I would love to hear all of your comments down below, what you think of this episode, what are your predictions moving forward, and what do you want to see in the show. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and, like I said, opinions, because I love to get all these comments and talk with you down in the comments, as this show is really fun to talk about. But have a good day, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.